Throw your hands in the air if you're the truth.
Hi everyone, thank you for tuning into my channel, Ursula Living, and of course I am your girl Ursula, and today's video is a requested video. And before we get into the video, I just want to give a huge shout out and dedication to my fine, thin-haired natural sisters. And I say that because it's summertime. You know, I'm always doing a wash and go, but it's summertime and you want to try something different. And sometimes, you know, when they thinking about fades, I'll be thinking about braids. What? And so you're thinking about braids, but your hair is fine and thin, and you're just worried like, oh my God, if I put anything in my hair, any weight, any weave, you know, anything added to my hair that's pulling or doing anything with my fine, thin hair, it is going to be like no edge control up in here. But that's not true, and that's why I'm making this video today, to talk all about my braids and my upkeep, because I do have fine, thin, curly hair, and let me tell you, my edges are still intact. I have had no issues with my braids, so I want to just share with you guys everything that I do. Also, disclaimer, I'm not a hairstylist. I didn't go to cosmetology school. I didn't do any of that. But I'm going to share with you what my stylist suggested, and also what has just worked for me at home, and how am I keeping these braids in and my edges ain't falling out. Now, first thing I'm going to show you is how I upkeep my braids. So check out this quick clip to see how I maintain my braids and how I refresh my braids, and then I'll be right back. That I explained everything good enough for you to understand. If you have any questions though, don't hesitate to get the conversation popping down below in the comment section. And if you have tried a different way, or you have a better way, or some suggestions out there on how to you know, keep up with these braids, then let us know in the comment section down below. I'm just going to go over real quickly some of the products that I use on, I'm not going to say a regular basis, but I'm just gonna say for the care of my braids. So first of all, you guys saw that I had this lovely little pink bonnet thing on, or I like to call it a satin cap or something. I don't even know what I want to call it, but I actually like using this. You know, I'm a wash and go girl, but I use this a lot when I do my wash and goes, because I personally do not like sleeping on satin pillowcase. It always makes me feel hot or something. And then I tried the whole bonnet situation, but it always gives me a headache. So this is good, and look how long it is, and all this hair, you can see, all this hair actually fit into this bonnet, as you saw. So, and it doesn't come off at night. So this is a really good thing. I get this at beauty supply store. You could probably find it at Walmart, Sally's, things like that. But you know, there's all different ones. But I like this one because you can actually just, especially if you have long hair, just drop your hair in the cap and bada bing, bada boom. So that's the first thing. And by doing this, just like natural hair, it prevents a little bit of the frizziness in here, and doesn't make your hair so frizzy, because even though my hair is kind of protected a little bit in these braids, the braided hair itself, the weave, can actually get frizzy as well if you're on cotton or you're rubbing it a lot against things. So that's why I still use the satin cap. Then I followed up with the Dove Refresh Care. Now this one is for volume and fullness, and I didn't realize it till after the fact. And they have another one that's just more plain, but it says it refreshes and revives hair without water. And I have been using this stuff. It smells great, and as you saw, I just put it on my scalp, and you don't have to use any water. Now I know a lot of people actually wash their braids. I don't feel comfortable doing that, and knowing that if they're gonna dry or anything like that, so I don't feel comfortable doing that, but that's what I like to use. And then afterwards, what I'll use, there's a couple of things that I use to moisturize or to relieve some of the itching that's going on. One thing that I like to use is I always mess up this name, the Nikki Shea Stimulating Growth and Scalp Serum, and it's in this little bottle. I get this from my girl Ty. She has an Etsy shop, and this is so cool because when my hair is itching, this actually helps because it has a lot of different oils like lavender and lemongrass and all that stuff, which helps to refreshen your hair as well, so your hair don't be stinky. Y'all know, because I'll tell you about that in a minute. But see, you could just drop it down into there, you know, into there, and you know, and then you just rub it and go on about your business. And this has really helped with some of the itching, and I'm glad that I had this on hand. The next thing that I'll use sometimes if I'm just on the go and really just want something to put on my scalp and refresh, I'll use this Diva Curl No Comb Detangling Spray. Now I know it says detangling spray, but I don't have an actual refresher spray, so I'll use this, and it's just so cooling. Again, it has lavender and different oils and stuff in it, and it's just really cooling to the scalp, and it refreshes my scalp, I feel. And it is, the first ingredient is water, so I put this on my hair, and it just kind of refreshes my hair. Also, it gives off a nice scent. And then the last thing that well, not the last thing, but one of the last things I use actually on my scalp to help with my hair, especially if it's really, really itchy or I feel like it's really dry, is the Mimosa Hair Honey Dress by Carol's Daughter. Now, y'all, let me tell y'all something. Now, no shade to Carol's Daughter, but I just really never used her products. Me and Carol, we just wasn't friends like that. But y'all, this stuff is boss. Now, the only thing I will say, which will bring me to what I meant by the lavender and stuff like that, I feel sometimes with braids, and my hairdresser suggested that I use, you know, just put like an oil or something on my hair, refresh it, put an oil on and go, like coconut oil or whatever. But, and the dry shampoo, but I really don't want to use coconut oil, and I don't like using a lot of this. If you notice in the video, like I put like a little bit on my hand, and I use that for like the whole back row. And the reason being is because for me anyway, if I put too much of this type of stuff on my hair, it is heavy, but it really is, it thins out. But if I put too much of it on my scalp, that can cause buildup, number one. Number two, I like to exercise, and I just kind of naturally sweat in my hair. And so by doing that, and the sweating and mixing it with like different products you have in your hair, and especially your hair is in braids and I'm not actually washing it, it can, after washing, get off like a little raunchy smell. You know, coconut oil does that too, if y'all ever noticed. I mean, be real. Have you been around somebody and you're like, ooh, they hair stink? It's probably because they have coconut oil or something, or they built up product and not getting it off. So I really don't like to use this a whole bunch, but I use it today for the video. And plus, my hair was not actually feeling a little itchy, and since I've been using this, so I haven't used this. Like I might use this once a week or just like whenever, but really like once a week or every 2 weeks I've used this, and my hair's been fine, no itching. And then the last thing you saw me use is the Diva Curl Frizz-Free Volumizing Foam. Again, volumizing, but that's not the point. The point of this is to smooth down the braid, and especially the ends here. See how smooth it looks now? I don't know if y'all could see it before, but like it actually looks smoother now. And so this actually helps to smooth down the hair. And I put it a little bit on the top here as well to get rid of the frizz. Now you actually can probably use, I've seen it on YouTube here, you can actually use whatever mousse you had. But being that I was in braids, I'm like, hold up, I'm about to save me some money because I got plenty of products. Yes, God, honey. So I put a little bit on here, and it doesn't take long for it to dry or anything like that. And wada bing, wada boom, my hair smells fresher. It looks a little bit more cleaner. It has a little bit of a shine. You can see that there. I don't know if you can, but I see it. A little bit of a shine to it. And I'm ready to go. You don't need a lot of stuff on your braids. Now, the next thing I will say is that with braids, I've had mine for like a month. I probably will keep them in for like another week or two, and then I'm getting rid of them. I feel like when you have fine, thin hair, and especially depending on what kind of braids you have, you don't need to keep them in that long. And I know that they can be pricey, but you know, you don't want, and it doesn't even matter if you're fine or thin hair. If you have braids in, you don't want to keep them in for months and months and months on end, because that's going to be wear and tear in your hair. And when you take these suckers out, you're going to be team no edges, and that's not what you want. So for me, a month to maybe 4 weeks to maybe about 6 weeks is probably a good cutoff time for me, and to start over, because right now it is like killing me that I'm not able to like get in there and truly wash my hair. Y'all know I'm a wash and go girl. Like, I wash my hair every 2-3 days. 4 or 5 days is pushing it for me. So with that said, just keep your regimen simple when you're getting braids. Research your stylist. You shouldn't have bumps and lumps all over your head when you're getting your hair braided. Now, yes, it might hurt a little bit because, you know, they braid and they get down, but it shouldn't be to the point where your edges feel like they're being pulled and you're getting little bumps and stuff like that. If that's the case, you probably want to remove your braids. But again, just choose a good stylist, research that stylist, and then my hair is coming down. Look at that. But most importantly, feel comfortable in your braids and know that you can, even with fine and thin hair, you can wear braids. Just take good care of them and don't pile on a bunch of products. And like, that's it, yo. So anyway, I hope that this video was somewhat informative, but it was requested, and that's just really my routine, and it's simple. Oh, and how often do I do this whole process, or at least use the dry shampoo? Probably maybe once a week. Now, when I first got my braids, I didn't do anything for the first week to week and a half, because for the first week, because I was like out of town and in Costa Rica, so I really didn't do anything. But when I got back, so after maybe a week and a half of having the braids, then I did the dry shampoo. But I don't feel like I need to do it all the time. And plus, like I said, I have my refresher sprays and stuff like that. But I think once a week, or if you're working out, maybe like twice a week, maybe, you know, it just depends. But you know your scalp, go by that. But anyway, okay, yeah, that's it. Bye guys, and enjoy your braids. Yes, God, honey.